A very good day to all my listeners all across the world. Welcome back to my podcast, George Nathaniel, and this is George Nathaniel for each one of you. Listeners, as you know, all my podcast is about wellness. It's about sharing good experiences and, of course, most importantly, trying to help each other grow faster in life. And all of my podcast comes with a specific topic that I research on. I take a lot of experience shares over my long years of working, and I try to share them in simplified words. Recently, I met a youngster who has just passed out from college, and he was trying to build his career path in life. Trust me, these youngsters are super brilliant. I must tell you, he had a clear mindset of what he wants to do in life, what he wants to achieve in life, how he's going to do those things in life, how he's going to achieve everything in life, and of course, where would he be after a certain time in life. I was very impressed. Trust me, I was very impressed. So he came back to me and told me that he does listen to my podcast and he finds it very helpful, and he wanted me to share with him what are my do's. So what are my do's in life? Well, for a moment, I went silent, thinking, what are my do's in life? So then I sat back and I told him, the most important do in life is to brand oneself. Brand oneself to the extent that people would want to be around the highlight. Or people would want to be around your highlight. It will take a lot of work. It will take a lot of sacrifices. It'll take a lot of consistency, perseverance to build that brand new. But on the long run, you will be multi-talented. You definitely will be accepted anywhere or everywhere that you go. So that should be the do that you follow. So for this youngster who was so well versed with life, he definitely related to it so quickly. He said, yes, I definitely want to brand myself and I want to be that highlight that I can carry wherever I can go. So then I told him that, listen, you don't need to have all the talent in the world, but definitely you need to have all the discipline. Because if you have the discipline or if you follow the discipline diligently, that drives majority of your results. Yes, discipline does what talent cannot do. So each one of us needs to be very disciplined in our scope of life, in our lifestyle. And discipline definitely will help you over your journey in life. While talking to him, I actually sat back and thought about this beautiful quote. It says, life changes every single moment, and so can you. Yes, listeners, life definitely changes every single moment, and so can you. So if you are focused, if you are dedicated, if you are persistent in what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to achieve it, how you're going to scale over, what are the goals you're looking at, you will definitely drive over bigger results, scaling newer heights in everything that you want to do in life and be ever successful. So when I come back to the do's, I would say it's very important for individuals, for each one of us. Time and again, you need to track progress. So when I say track progress, you need to evaluate your stance at that moment of life. You need to build your accountability. Build the accountability for the identity that you have created, be it personally, professionally, or your contribution in life. You need to deliver results. Yes, I'm not saying everyone is going to be perfect. We do see failures, but in failures itself, you can deliver results. That's making the best of things. Like I say, or like the world says, you never lose, you always learn. And that's how you grow. You need to be ready to collaborate. So when I say collaborate could mean a lot of things out here. It could mean looking at partnerships, looking at working in a team, looking at working in association with others. So you need to collaborate. And most importantly, you need to coach yourself through setbacks. No one is going to help you in your setbacks. So you need to coach yourself through setbacks. So when I say the do's, it's very important to be that game changer. So if you want to carry that highlight around, you need to be that game changer. So when you are the game changer, it automatically builds respect and that grows your loyalty wherever you go, however you go. So when you look at your life personally, professionally, or all your contributions in life or your goals that you are planning to achieve or landmarks that you're looking to scale over, you need to understand that yes, there are a lot of things that you need to work on. You need to be passionate over your presence personally or professionally or in all your contributions. So when I say you need to be passionate, which means you need to be there in that moment. The virtual world is over. You need to be there physically, be involved, be a part of it, engage, be a contributor. You need to be in the limelight of things. You need to be in the limelight of trends. Or you need to be the trend setter. You need to be loyal to your commitment to deliver. You need to be that biggest fighter in that team. You need to be that biggest influencer in the team. Driving that force to overcome. Driving to achieve that results. Driving to have faster turnarounds. And for all that, you need to be prepared. You need to keep upskilling yourself. So these are the do's that we're looking at. Growth is everyone's mantra. Everyone is looking at mantra. So growth is a mantra that everyone is looking at. But what are the do's that you are going to follow? What are the do's that are going to leverage you to achieve? What are the do's that will help you to progress? What are the do's that will actually take you to growth? What are the do's that will accelerate your growth? Well, do's are never ending, but making a few do's part of your mantra is very, very important and impactful. So particularly for this listener of mine and for all the youngsters, everybody who is just planning to start their careers, somebody who has started a career a few years back and looking at scaling up, a few do's that you need to incorporate in your life, I would say that are very, very important is awareness. You need to have awareness. You need to think before you speak. So awareness is a little bit of know-how. You need to have your own ethics. Be responsibly precise. You need to listen. You need to give others the value of their time. Not just speak what you have to speak without listening to what the others have to say. Sometimes you learn more while listening. You gauge better examples. You gauge better opportunities. So listen. You need to build a strong integrity. And integrity is not only about honesty. Integrity is about you as an individual. It's about carrying your worth. You need to build a very strong mindset. Be adaptable wherever you go. Be adaptable under any situations or circumstances. Most importantly, you need to be worthwhile. Be someone who is always making that change. Be someone who's always brightening up the day, brightening up that moment. Be someone who is that game changer. Be someone worthwhile, someone who carries some value. So awareness, ethics, listening, integrity, mindset, and being worthwhile. These are very simple things that can be part of your dues or part of your do's. Very important do's in life. These are things that you must do, you must follow, you must incorporate. You must make it a part of your life, part of your well-being, part of your wellness, part of your growth, part of your success, part of your mantra in whatever you want to achieve in life. So if you want to evolve, if you want to evolve faster, if you want to see better growth, higher growth, then you need to follow your do's diligently. So, and listeners, in all my podcasts, in all my subjects, in all my experience shares, I do share a little bit of key takeaways. And if I would share the key takeaways pertaining to this topic of do's, what could be your do's in life? So for the youngsters, definitely I said awareness, ethics, listening, integrity, mindset, and worthwhile. But generally, if you were looking at to a complete individuals all across the world, no matter how much or how high you've succeeded, or no matter wherever you are, if you are looking at creating your do's in life, I would say upskilling. You need to keep upskilling yourself. You need to have that focus around your goals and growth. Because goals are never limited. Goals keep growing over every moment, every time, every new day. And growth is something that is not limited. You can see endless growth in life. So keep upskilling. Keep building your very strong network. And I say it, your network is your net worth. So if you have a good network, you have a strong net worth. You need to be collaborating, be ready to collaborate, exchange ideologies, understand that yes, sometimes you need to partner or be partnered towards growth. You need to be visible. There's a very simple saying that out of sight is out of mind. So be visible, be in sight as much as possible. Showcase achievements. Showcase achievements is different from flaunting achievements. Showcase achievements is just getting a validation of your achievements, getting a validation of what you have scaled over in time, what you have achieved in time. It's a validation. So you need to showcase your validations. These are the dues that you can look at. So generally, for everyone across, I would say upskill, network, collaborate, be visible, and of course, validate your achievements. Do's are very, very important. And remember, there is a time, there is a place, and there's a moment for things. So you don't always have to be robotic. You don't always have to be a like somebody who's continuously engaging and getting things done and being as busy as a bee. It's very, very important for one to also relax. It's also important for one to, we need to, when we say relax, that is a time where you adapt to learnings. That is a time when you rejuvenate yourself. That is a time when you build over what your learnings and of course apply it in the next deed that comes your way or the next challenge that comes your way. So it's very, very important for you to be at ease at times. And being at ease at times is very, very impactful. That gives you an individual that time to sit down and evaluate, to sit down and of course elevate yourself, realign yourself. So be at ease at time. That should be part of your do's as well. So being at ease could also be relaxing to some soothing music, reading some wonderful books. It could be spending time with somebody, your loved ones. It could be spending time with your passion, something that, makes you, builds your excitements and keeps you motivated, builds your, I would say, your thought process, your work process, and of course drives you to scale newer heights. So do's are the most important part that helps us in our journey in life. And I must thank that youngster. I'm sorry I cannot mention his name, like he was very precise and said, "Sir, don't mention my name." But thank you so much for each one of us to understand that yes, the do's are a very important part of our life. And we definitely, at times, we kind of overlook them. But yes, they make a big, big difference in our life goals. And they definitely help us to scale newer heights. So I hope you like listening to this topic of do's. And I'm sure it'll help you in creating your do's, evaluating your do's, and of course, scaling on your heights. And of course, achieving bigger successes in everything that you're doing. So listeners, I wish each one of you greater success, greater happiness, greater wellness. Keep sharing all the good things in life. As you know, my podcast is available across all platforms. And I also have my blog website, which is called georgenathaniel.net. Come and listen to my podcast. Tell me what you want me to speak about, to share about. Come to my blog website. I do a lot of research on business, on wellness, on the complete journey of life. Tell me what you want me to talk about, want me to research or write about. I'll be more than happy to do it. Because for me, it's very important to share all the good things in life. I think that is the best thing. That is the best thing that I can offer anyone in life. So to everyone all across, keep shining, keep building happiness, and stay in all wellness. Thank you so much. This is George Nathaniel, and thank you so much for listening to this podcast, George Nathaniel, and do keep sharing them all across. Thank you so much, and I wish each one of you a great day ahead.